Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Aries, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Aries, I hope that you're doing well. This is a special reading because I just felt that everyone needed a reading that had to do with perhaps their sense of feeling lost. And so these are messages for the lost. I know that I've been feeling that way lately, and anytime I get to that headspace, because of things happening in my own personal life or things happening in the world, I know that when I kind of go within, talk to spirit, talk to the universe, there's so much that can be revealed in that exploration. And so I'm hoping to illuminate some of that for you today, Aries. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one is going to be from the Wisdom of the Oracle for the overall energy, and from the tarot portion of the reading, the amazing Light Seers Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you, Spirit. Well, yeah. Messages for the lost. Number 31, which reduces to a 4, corresponding to the Emperor card of the Major Arcana. That's an Aries card. Aries, you showed up in your own reading. The Emperor carries the power of all 4 kings of the tarot. They're a master at their craft. They're a master of their domain. They run the empire. They're the CEO. They're in charge. They're the leader. The ultimate divine masculine energy. But the card that you got is simply why. I can't think of any more powerful question to ask at this time. Just given the state of what everyone is going through right now, there's just this big question of why. Why are these things happening? Why was I born into this life? What is my purpose? And it's so simple and so complex at the same time, and yet there's this kind of book here that this character is reaching out for. See how it's kind of like a sprite or a fairy has the wings here, and then the book has the wings here. It's almost like you're finding a counterpart or a friend in some kind of written text, or this could be a religious text, or it could be just something that, or it could be a book of fiction that just opens up your world. You know, I used to be, I used to work at a bookstore for a long time, and I used to have a friend, I think, you know, I hope she's doing okay. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she used to say that reading books was your entryway into empathy, because you're putting yourself in the space of another. You're inhabiting the space of another, feeling that character's feelings and emotions and circumstances, and as if you were them. And empathy can really help us to bridge connections between others and ourselves. It's one of the most amazing and biggest superpowers that you can have, is to have empathy. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you knowledgeable. If anything, to have empathy for others is to truly understand them and to have context for how to deal with them, right? If they're not somebody that you would necessarily want to deal with. So Aries could be asking this question right now. And I do think that, you know, the sun is coming up over the horizon, there's going to be light illuminating these questions for you. I'm going to be pulling 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. The first card is going to be, what is Aries struggling with? What am I struggling with? The next set of cards, what can I do for myself? The third set, what can I do for the world? Because, you know, some tarot readers, they have this ability of foresight. And I've been told by a lot of people, actually, that things that I revealed in tarot readings actually came true. But I'm just reading the cards, you know? Like, I'm just getting a temperature on what's happening in this moment. But what I do try to do with tarot is to make it something that's useful for you. I want it to be useful. I want it to provide insight, clarity into something, or just even an acknowledgement from spirit of what you are going through. I think this is a perfect example of that. You got an extra card. It's 6 cards on the table, and I'm only reading uprights, just to let you know. 6 cards on the table. A 7th card popped out, which I usually take as the overall energy of the reading. And it's so incredibly apropos, the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. Talk about a card that represents someone who is completely steeped in compassion and empathy and love and kindness and generosity of that love and kindness. Aries, you know, you're usually, right, the god of war, of course. But I feel like somebody's saying, I just, you know, make love, not war. Just wanting some peace in their own lives, peace in the world. How do we begin? How do we begin on that? It starts with the self-care, self-love. It's cold as anything outside right now, and yet there's a bird's nest right underneath my window, and I just saw a bird flutter right in front of the window, right? It's just signs from spirit everywhere in your reading, and we're only 7.5 minutes in. Spirit knows that your heart is just aching for the world, or aching for, maybe it's not even for the world, maybe it's just for somebody that's around you. Your heart is aching, but it's also open. And you're asking this question, why? Why now? Why this person? I'm hearing, you know, why do bad things happen to good people? Right? And I don't feel that this is like you feeling sorry for yourself. I feel like it's kind of outward focused. You're asking these questions about something that is external to you, but also in a sense of like, what can I do? I'm just one little person in the world, and yet you're an Aries. You're the Emperor. You have a lot more clout and a lot more influence than you give yourself credit for. So in the area of what am I struggling with? What is Aries struggling with? Well, this makes sense. 9 of Swords. Sleepless nights, nightmares, too many thoughts swirling around. The Swords suit of the tarot is all about thoughts, concepts, ideas, information. But when we get to the 9, it's like overwhelming. Too many, jumbled, crowded, squawking. Right? I hear the birds outside my window squawking, and this character here, face and hands, just wanting to shut some of it out, right? Struggling with quieting all of those voices in the peanut gallery, voices on social media, voices in your family, voices in your children, whatever. Too many noises, too many ideas, and you're just trying to gather your own thoughts. Think about what it is that you believe and stand for. It's difficult because it's overwhelming. It's almost like there are all these thoughts here and you're just trying to pick out that one thing that makes sense. Clarified by a spectacular card, number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. Major Arcana. Anytime I talk about Major Arcana, I'm talking about the first 22 cards of the tarot deck, which are very heavily divinely guided energies. You represent the archetypes of human experience. Sorry if you hear some trucks outside. Big truck, gigantic truck that says Town and Country Movers. So you might be moving, you might be considering moving. Man, that was a huge truck. Yeah, I don't usually see trucks like a tractor trailers, like 18-wheelers coming down the street. That was distracting and felt totally significant. Town and country, town or country. Maybe you're thinking about moving away from the city, right? But you're thinking about the timing of everything. Remember, this is the area of what Aries is struggling with. You're waiting for that sign from Spirit. Is it okay to go? Is it okay to move? As Aries is a fire sign, and you're all about the moving, like moving forward, being the more aggressive party, right? Like we're go-getters. The Emperor has no qualms about taking action, but there could be some timing that's involved. Can I get a clarifier as to what are we worried about? Nine of Swords. What is Aries worried about? What is Aries worried about? Okay. 2 cards flipped out. Incredible. There's a lot of synchronicities here, right? 4 of Swords, the number 4, the Major Arcana, the Emperor. You showed up in your reading again. And the 31 reducing to a 4. So that's 444. Please be on the lookout for 444. If you see that in a phone number, in a license plate, in a serial number, that is Spirit speaking to you. What do you do in those moments when you see those synchronicities? You pause and you think about, what was I just thinking about? What was just playing on the radio? What was somebody just saying to me? It's relevant. So what are we worried about? That was the question. What were we worried about? What is preoccupying our thoughts? I think whether or not we can maintain and sustain what we have going for us. This is you, fully and completely, Aries. I don't make any, there's no qualms about it. There are no bones about it. This is the Aries energy. You know, when do I make my next move? When is the right timing? And Spirit is saying, you know, I've been disappointed in the past. Spirit is showing that to me. 4 of Swords comes after the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is all about heartache and heartbreak and disappointment. So you're worried. You're worried about your next moves. You're worried about your next moves. When is it going to be the right time? And it's a struggle for you right now. Because maybe it's like, why do I have to wait? You know? I think, though, with this Queen of Cups here, if there are other players involved, the Spirit is asking you to be compassionate to those other players. If you are dependent on somebody else to make your decision, then be compassionate towards that other person. Maybe it's more difficult for them. You know, I don't know about you. I mean, to an Aries, everyone might seem indecisive, but I've been around my fair share of pretty indecisive people, and it can be really, really frustrating. But it's probably even more frustrating for them, like inside their own head. I am claircognizant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and so claircognizance is just like deep knowing, right? I just always know. I just always know what I think and feel in any moment. And if I don't, I always am able to express that. I don't waver. If I don't know something, I don't know something. Cool. I express it. And I dare say you're kind of like that too. Spirit is kind of lightly pulsing this ear. Not pulsing, but more, their presence is here. So it's like your spirit guides are coming in to just say, yes, Aries knows what they think and feel, but it could be somebody around you that is having a more difficult time. And I dare say that you might care about that person. So Spirit is saying, show some compassion. Show some patience. Difficult. What can I do for myself at this time? What can I do for myself? Messages for the lost. 6 of Pentacles. Spirit just said, give yourself a break. 6 of Pentacles is the equal give and take card of the major arcana. It's like I put so much effort in, and then the universe kind of mirrors that, returns it in kind. So there could be something that you've invested in lately. But it's almost like you're putting pressure on yourself. This is what I feel, that you're putting pressure on yourself. And Spirit is saying, don't worry. What you have put out into the world, the goodness, the productivity that you put out in the world will be returned to you. Embody the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. Totally lush and abundant and attractive, stable, committed. There's a satisfaction, is the word Spirit just gave me, to her countenance, to her body language. Do you see any worry on this person's face or in her body language? I don't see any worry. So it's kind of like Spirit saying, okay, what can Aries do for themselves? Relax. I'm rolling my eyes slightly because my significant other, my twin flame, this is something that he says to me all the time, because I am a very, very anxious person, and he's always just like, relax, relax, and it drives me crazy. And I hear him saying that in my head right now, and so I have to say it to you, relax. You got this, Aries. There has been a great deal of investment so far. You're the Emperor after all. That's kind of your bag. That's kind of what you do. You invest in things, people, places, projects that mean something to you. So Spirit is saying, enjoy the fruits of your labor. You're going to be able to, especially with this right here. Let's clarify. What can I do for myself? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, I mean, this is looking really good. Emperor and Empress, number 3 of the major arcana, Libra and Taurus energy. This is a divine pairing. This is the most powerful divine pairing, besides, I would say, that High Priestess and the Magician, but this is pretty powerful. This is couple energy, and if you're not in like a couple or in a partnership of any kind, this is just your masculine and feminine side coming into full alignment with one another, or trying to. Because remember, this is what Spirit is saying. Please do this for yourself. What does the Empress do? She's absolutely abundant, and she's confident. She allows things to approach her, come to her. She's the master attractor, the power of all 4 queens. This is divine feminine energy. So here in what am I struggling with? It's the divine masculine energy. What can I do for myself? Sit in your divine feminine, clear as day. It's not to say that you should just sit back and do nothing, but it is saying be ready to receive. These are some Powerhouse divine feminines, be ready to receive. Earth and water, earth and water. Like, can you trust the universe enough to just say, okay, the more I chase after something, the more it's gonna flee from me. So when I just pull my energy back and sit in a space of calm, in a space of knowingness, knowing that I will receive something, then it allows the energy to ebb and flow. The tide will come back. Spirit wanted me to say the tide will come back. Spirit just showed this card to me again. Why? So I'm gonna, it's like somebody's like, why? Why do I have to wait? Why do I have to wait? Why, Spirit? 3 cards. Number 8, the Strength card of the Major Arcana. Number 10, 10 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Why do I have to wait? Because there's been something like a cycle or something that you've had to release. It's like you were carrying too much. I'll give you an example. Like just today before I even got dressed and whatever, this is like my bedroom, and so everything seems kind of in order here, but over there it was like kind of chaos, and not even controlled chaos, it was just chaos. And because I was home from work today and it's freezing outside, and I was like, this is a perfect day to clean, to get rid of, to purge. That's exactly what I did. And man, I don't know why I always procrastinate on it, because once I do it, it feels amazing. Every time you purge something, you make room and space for something new. So you have been in this process of purging something. Now, Spirit can bring you what it is that you're looking for, right? But you had to do that first, because they do want to collaborate and co-create with you with the 3 of Pentacles. They do want to make magic with you. Something, though, that is manifest in the real world. We're talking Pentacles here. That's the earth element. And there's a part of you, perhaps, that at one time kind of got in your head, maybe got in your ego about it. I deserve this kind of conversation. Whenever we get into the like, and I've been there, absolutely. It's just like, man, I really deserved that, and we don't get it or whatever. That's ego. Whether or not you did deserve it, not deserve it, whatever. If you didn't get it, then you start to feel resentment towards something, someone. Not a good place to be. We do it, we're human, we're competitive. So you could have been grappling with that, even if it was just a competition with yourself. But Spirit was making you kind of exhibit some humility, exhibit some patience with that. And you did, because the Strength card is here. The Strength card talks about a mastery over the egoic side of ourselves. So why is it that you had to wait? Why? Because you were still in the process of release. What can I do for the world? 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is bliss, joy, love, fulfillment, family, friends, magic. 10 of Cups is so beautiful. It's so heart chakra, solar plexus chakra centered. Just blissfulness and joy, right? Sharing that with the world. It's almost like when you do finally receive your flowers, your wealth, your whatever it is that you're waiting for, Spirit is saying, don't forget to be generous. Even if it's with your love and attention. It's the most valuable things of all. Don't forget to be generous. This is what you can give to the world. Your true heart. because I just saw this lapis lazuli crystal on my desk, and it made me want to say your true heart. Knight of Swords to clarify it. There is so much that you want to express. Spirit is saying express it. Tell the people that you love them. That felt very clear. And don't walk, run. Maybe somebody really needs to hear it, and especially from you, Aries, as you are powerful. Your words carry a lot of weight. Let me read from the book, number 31. Why? Motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. There is a great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Want to see who the magnet for miracles is? It's the Empress. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. That is your reading, Aries. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Aries.